Good morning, guys. It is getting darker. It's 5:15 in the morning and I'm off for a sunrise shoot. I think I have the goal of doing like a long exposure selfie this morning, but I guess we'll find out when I get to the location. So let's hit the road. Okay, it's a good thing I left early. There's a sign on the road saying excepto moradores, which I'm assuming means except moorers, people that live there. Actually, there's a sign in English that says except residents. So I can't get into the location I wanted to photograph, which is one of the most popular photo locations in all of Portugal, Praia Marinha. And yeah, I've still got an hour, so I guess I'm gonna have to try to figure something else out. It's always good to have a backup plan. I do not have one, but I just scrolled through a list of locations that I've wanted to photograph or that I want to photograph here in the Algarve, and I found one that's totally different than what I was planning on shooting this morning. It's back in Albufeira, so yeah, we got to cruise about 17 minutes more. So when I said back towards Albufeira, I meant back towards Portimão. For some reason, I always mix the two of them up. Portimão is actually the city there. I don't know if it's the biggest city, but maybe the second biggest city in the Algarve. And then there's this little neighborhood or part of the city that the lights just went off on. Terrible timing. I believe it's called Ferraduro. I'm actually not sure what it's called, but it's a great example of why you should always mark things down when you see them. Jody and I were adulting. We were at Staples getting office supplies, and when we were there, we were driving along this side, and I saw these boats in the water and this village along this, and I thought this would make a great blue hour or sunrise location. So here I am. So I know I've only lived somewhere for like a minute and I'm already giving if you live in one place and you're photographing home advice, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think it's so important to have a document, maybe an Excel spreadsheet that lists all the locations within a driving distance of where you live and the ideal times when to photograph them. That way you can just be like, okay, what's the situation? Scroll through your list and be like, that's the one. So for example, I'm here at high tide. I think this location would be absolutely ideal at low tide because you'd get the boats right in your frame. I could get closer to the boats. Right now they're a little bit too far out there and I'm having a little bit of trouble with foreground interest. But I still think there is a photo here. It's just not exactly what I was looking for. So I'm gonna stop making excuses and start making a photo. So if I was working right now and doing like a travel assignment, I'd say this is a bit of a fail because I only brought my 15 to 35 and 70 to 200 because I thought I was going to be photographing the beach. And this is definitely like a 50mm photo. At 35, it's just too wide and it feels a little bit unbalanced. At 70, it's just a little bit too tight. But again, that's just information that goes into your list for next time. So on your list, you have best time of day to photograph, tides, and focal length, I would say 50mm. So I'd say to bring my 24 to 70. And like I said, normally I would think this is a bit of a fail, but right now I feel like it's a success because I'm getting so much information. And it is just such a beautiful spot regardless.
this song negotiate, buying up some real estate. And you know when it's good, cause it goes so fast. I guess everybody's looking for a high that lasts.
So I take it back, I actually don't think 70 millimeters is too tight. It's tight, but I don't think it's too tight. I think it works. What I am struggling with is how long I want my exposure to be, because I really like the smooth motion on the water. I really like how it minimalizes the scene. But it's windy this morning, and so the boats are really moving. At 30 seconds, they become kind of awkward. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot, and it seems like that sweet spot's around 8 seconds. Then I get a little bit of movement in the boats, which I actually like, but not so much that they just look terrible. So I'm going F11, 8 seconds at 70 millimeters, and I think this could work.
Rising sun hits the sky, see it.
Another thing you should add to your list for your locations is what you want for the sky. Astro, cloudy, overcast, blue skies, or epic light, whatever you want. Here in the Algarve in the summer, you don't get a lot of clouds. And a lot of the locations I've been struggling with that, but here it really doesn't matter because you're filling enough of the frame with the buildings. Ideally, I would have been here at blue hour, but even right now, I think it's okay. It's pretty simple, but it's okay. And when the sun comes up over the haze and starts to hit some of the buildings, I think it might work.
For us, take these hopes, hold them high. Every step takes you closer.
So I am getting some of that early sunrise light hitting the church, which is really helping let that church stand out in the frame. The seagulls are going crazy because somebody's flying a drone and it's kind of nesting season for the seagulls. They're all just attacking this drone. It's kind of entertaining when it's not your own drone. What was I talking about? Anyway, yeah, the photo. So the sunlight is starting to kiss this church on top, which is really helping it stand out in the frame. I am F8, 8 seconds, and I'm just tapping to focus in the middle of the frame because the boats are out of focus anyway. So I'm just focusing on these buildings, and it looks okay. I think, yeah, it could benefit from a nicer sky, but at the end of the day, I think it definitely works for this morning.
The stars will show.
I've actually switched the 15 to 35 back on. I've also put a 10 stop ND on because I want to get a second photo out of this morning, not just the telephoto, but a wide angle. And with the wide angle, I think it actually kind of works because the distortion kind of creates a hill effect for the village or the town back this way. And I think it actually kind of works. I haven't checked it yet, but I've gone 30 seconds F8 because I want really, really long exposure. I kind of want it to feel minimalist, see how it looks. And to be honest, yeah, I think it kind of works. It'll probably work better as a pano. Okay, I think that's about it for the light. Definitely a sunset spot, definitely a blue hour spot, definitely a low tide spot. But all that being said, I think the photo still kind of works this morning, so I'm definitely not upset about it. This was definitely not a fail, especially for all the information I gathered for future shoots, not only from here, but it was really important to find out that Praia Marinha is closed because I was planning on going to shoot Astro there tomorrow night, and now I don't think I can. Speaking of Astro, that's what's coming up next on the channel. I have 2 Astro photography videos planned, conditions dependent, and I think they should be fun and hopefully informative. So I hope to see you guys there. Peace.